Are you wanting to scale your business with digital products? I'm Becky Beach, and I've grown $1 million digital product empire that earns me passive income while I sleep, eat, and play. Join me each week as we grow our digital product businesses together. This is the Becky Beach Show. Everybody, welcome to the Becky Beach Show. I'm Becky Beach, and in today's guest, we have Michelle Thames. She's a visibility coach, and her podcast is Social Media Decoded. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Excited to be on the show today.
Yes, I was fortunate enough to be on Michelle's podcast too, so I'm really excited to get my episode out because I had such a great time. Michelle was so much fun to talk to, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy hearing from Michelle too. We're going to be talking about how to build your business online with social media to become more visible. So, Michelle, there's so many social networks out there. I could see people getting confused and overwhelmed. Like, where do you recommend to start?
Yeah, I definitely say if you're just starting out, most people mess up because they want to be on all the platforms. But to focus on 2 to 3 platforms where you know that your ideal client and customer is going to be. So maybe that may be Instagram, right? And then you have a podcast and you have your email list. Starting with those three and creating what I like to call a digital ecosystem that works for you and can help you gain that visibility. So not focusing on all of them at once because like we were talking about earlier, there's a new one every single day, and so trying to keep up with that can be hard and frustrating. So really having a strategy when we approach this to the platform. So starting out with those platforms where your ideal client and customer is most likely, and then coming up with a posting process and strategy that works for your lifestyle. Sometimes you can't post 5 times a day. So really coming up with a plan to be able to do that so you're still visible, but it's not burning you out.
Yeah, because that just gets so many entrepreneurs burned out. Like you said, like there's a new one I heard about the other day called Blue Sky, and I was like, do I need to be on that? Or there's Threads, and I'm not on that, so should I be on that? So it can just there's just so many coming out, and they even changed their name. Like Twitter changed to X, and you're like, what's X? I don't even know what that is. And so if you got to keep up with all this, it can be really nerve-wracking. Yeah. So how do you recommend people go about doing it like that?
Yeah, I recommend that you first start off with a strategy. So saying if it's Instagram, I'm going to post 3 times a week and I'm going to post content. Now on Instagram, people like edutainment, right? It's not so much about, yes, giving the value, but people actually want to be entertained. So how can you show people behind the scenes maybe of your life, of you building this dream business that you're building? How is it going? Like what's the ins and outs of that? And just also showing people that whatever it is that you're building is possible, right? People love that type of content to be able to come behind the scenes and see what you're building. So I would say 3 times a week to start off with. If it's the platform is Instagram, we're just going to take that because Instagram is one of the very popular platforms that many people are on. So starting with Instagram, maybe you post two reels and a carousel a week. Focus on a specific goal that you have. Maybe you're having a webinar and you want to get people to sign up, or you're trying to get more people on your email list. So having it focused towards call to actions and goals that you actually have in your business and working, I like to say like working backwards, right? If you know that you need 100 people to sign up for your webinar, create content that speaks in alignment to that, that will be beneficial, but also get your business visible without you having to burn out and say, oh, I have to post 5 times a day. I have to post this. I have to post my dog and my lunch and all the things. Just really staying strategic with how you're posting.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it can just be so overwhelming. So I like how you said edutainment. So does that mean you're trying to educate as well as entertain? Like how would someone do that?
Yes, educating as well as entertaining. A lot of people are doing series now on Instagram. So you can do a series. I know one of my friends is showcasing her, putting on her annual conference, right? Showing people behind the scenes of how she's prepping for that, what she's doing, the details, because that's going to increase her visibility, but also make her relatable. And people are going to be entertained by what she's doing, right? Because she's not making it boring. She's making it very entertaining and fun to bring people along. So, yes, people, they want to be educated, but also entertained. So, it's not like you have to be a comedian or anything like that.
Huh?
Just creating content that people want to watch online.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because yeah, sometimes I struggle like, do I need to like be more educational or should I just showcase what I'm doing in my life? So is there like, do you have like you recommend like theme days, like one day, do something educational, next day maybe do something behind the scenes? Like how would you go about that?
Yeah, I would say you can have things, but I like to not be so rigid sometimes when it comes to our content and also go with your gut feelings, right? I think some days when you wake up in the moment and you're like, I think that this is a really good idea to post this type of content, post it, right? But yes, you should have themes and different days of the week that you're posting and you know exactly what it is that you're going to post in relation to whatever your call to action is for that specific goal. So yes, I do think that themes just help us stay on task. They help us stay on target. So maybe it's Monday and it's, I don't know, Monday motivation, or I used to do a marketing miles Monday when I was training for my 5K. So I integrated my 5K into my content to say, hey, I'm walking miles on Mondays, but this is like preparing for this 5K that I'm running, and made it fun and educational in that sense. So don't think too much about it. I think just post genuine content that you actually love instead of trying to like fit in this mold, because that doesn't work on social media anymore.
Yeah, you're so right. People want to follow actual people. And what gets me is like you always, I heard about the other day that there's these AI like avatars that are making, social media accounts and people are following these AI. And I'm like, why would someone follow an AI? I was thinking about like, there's nothing interesting about an AI. I'd rather follow a person. I'm sure people feel the same. Like, how would you, like, what do you think about that? Like these people that use AI to create content like that?
Yeah, I'm not into the AI, like creating a whole nother video of myself and it's like me generated talking, or even on my podcast. Like I know some people use like their voice recording to like generate that. Honestly, I use AI as a tool. I don't want to use it to replace me as what I'm doing, because again, like
Mhm.
you said, I don't think that that's authentic and people want to connect with people. It's called social media for a reason, for us to be social and
Yeah.
build relationships and use it as a tool for visibility and to reach people that you may not have ever been able to reach unless it was for social media, right? So I'm not with, honestly, the AI bots and that look like you and talk like you and act as you, and like you said, following pages of people who are not even real. I think we should get back to the human side and use and leverage AI as the tool that it is, and not have it as something that's replacing what we're doing.
Yeah, that does kind of get me. These people that use AI for themselves. Like there was this YouTuber doing it, and she had like 100,000 followers. And I didn't really know that she was using I mean, her AI of herself. And all. And then when I found out, I just became less interested in her content. Like I stopped watching her videos, and soon I just unsubscribed altogether.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not authentic, right? We want to follow genuine people and really connect. I think that's what's missing, being COVID and in the house, and we were, in a really interesting time. But now I think more people are craving that in-person connection, but also that in-person or human side of people sharing online and not just robots and AI. So I'm totally with you.
Well, what would you say to someone out there that's thinking, yeah, I want to be on social media more, but I'm a private person. I don't really want to share about myself. I don't even want to show my face. Like, what would you say to those people?
Yeah, I would say there's a way to definitely create a brand without showing your face, right? But if you're someone who is a founder and you have a really great mission, maybe you create candles, right?
Hmm.
Or you came out with, I don't know, a new coffee line, right? In today's society, just from research and knowing just like how much more brands go farther when they do have a founder that is visible, it can help your brand. But I do also understand that some people don't want to show their face, and you can totally create a storyline that way too. But I would say think about it. In today's world, people really love to be connected with human founders. And they would probably more likely, if they go to Target or Walmart or Meijer, wherever, and they are looking at products on the shelves, if one of the products they know, they've seen the founder, maybe it could be this. I have this probiotic drink I'm drinking, right? And if I
Yeah.
knew who the founder was of this and I knew their story, I would buy that over the Coke or whatever, Pepsi products or whatever, that I don't know who the actual founder of that is. So I think we just live in that type of world now. And so thinking about, do you want to connect yourself with your brand? Yes. I mean, you don't have to tell your everything about your life. You don't have to do that. I think you just have to be strategic in what you share and how. And I think it could be done either way. I don't want to sway to either side because I've seen it done both ways, but you just got to think about the industry that you're in and like really think about if you did showcase who you are and the behind the scenes and all of that, could it elevate your business and brand even more?
Yes, you're so right. Like I follow this girl named Elise Brienne, and she's on TikTok, and she has like 600,000 followers. And what she does is do paintings, and she makes those paintings into planners and all sorts of like stationery goodies. And she has a TikTok store, but she got started just showcasing herself painting. And then people were interested in her painting, so then she decided to start making them into products. So I think that was really, really cool to see that. And I followed her this whole time.
Yeah, and people love to watch that evolution, right? From when you start something and then now she's creating these beautiful pieces of art for people. People like that type of stuff. So it works. So again, you just have to think about, is it, is it for you, or is it something that you like, I really don't want to show my face online or my family? Totally understandable. Just really figuring out how to tell the story or have a brand ambassador or someone who represents for the company that can actually help you tell that story too.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. You could even, even hire an influencer if you don't want to do it yourself. Like that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, like you said, like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and like Frito-Lay, like you don't know who owns those. It's probably just the shareholders, not an individual business owner. But if you are a business owner, you're actually the foundation of your business. So if you show up for your customers and have like a face and people start associating you with your product. So I think that's really really cool concept. That's what would you say to someone out there that really wants to get on social media but they don't have the time? Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah, no, this is a great question because this is most people's struggle, right? We have these
Yeah.
businesses, we want to get it visible, but we're parents and the kids have all these activities and we work a 9 to 5 on the side as well. I would say we have to set aside time for content creation, yes, right? Until you can hire somebody to help you with the
Mhm.
content creation, we're going to have to do it ourselves, right? So setting aside time, maybe it's an hour or two a day or a week, right? On Sundays, you say, okay, on Sunday, I'm going to film the content. And then another day, I'm just going to write all my captions and I'm going to schedule all of this out. I'm going to check in daily on everything to see like if I'm getting leads or if people are commenting, but having a strategic plan. I think if we plan ahead, maybe 2 weeks. Now, most people, would say, oh, they batch your content 2, 3 months in advance, but things change. And so maybe 2 weeks is something manageable that you can start with and you can say, okay, I'm going to film 2 reels, post a carousel. I'm going to record a podcast episode, get my emails queued up for the week, and have that to go out because that's a lead generation for you. Marketing is lead generation to get you
Yes.
visible, to get you in front of more people. And if you stop that, then people will forget about you, right? Unless you are heavy in marketing where you are going to all the networking events every single week and talking to people. I think social media is a great tool that's free for your visibility to work in tandem with you still going to events and networking because that is a very important part of business. And I think now that we're getting back outside and the world is open, we should definitely be doing more in-person networking and then leveraging social media to keep in connection with those people after you've met them in person, but
Mhm.
also using social media as that visibility avenue to get in front of new people consistently and having a plan. So maybe it's once a week, 60 to 90 minutes, flushing that all out, scheduling it, following up, and rinsing and repeating. It doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah, that's like a really good way to go about it. Yeah, like you said, the networking events, like I personally attend a lot of events. Like I attended Podcast Movement this month, and next month I'm going to both FinCon and then this business retreat with someone I met in my mastermind. So I'm always doing like in-person events. And you're right, it's a great way to meet people in person. Because if someone is right in front of you in person, you can't really ignore them unless you're like a Rudy Tooty or something. So if you're right in front of somebody, they're not going to ignore you, and you get to meet people in person. Maybe there's a person there that you think like you could get in front of their audience, and they might promote you like your product as an affiliate. Then like meeting them one on one, like they're less likely to forget about you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, meeting them in person, they remember you, right? And then they're going to say, "Oh, well, what's your social media?" And then that's how you connect after the event. And then that's how you stay memorable. And then that's how you continue to build relationships. I think a lot of people go to events and it's just like, "Oh, I'm going to this event." That's great, but there's more. There's more that you can actually, leverage from going to events when coupling it with social media and staying in connection with people.
No, well, like, I always hear people saying, "Well, I tried social media, but I'm just not seeing results." Like, how much time should we give the social media before we give up on it?
Oh, it takes time. Nothing is an overnight success. I know we see people on there who, have grown tremendously and things like that. It's possible, but I want to say you have to put time into it for it to work. If you're not seeing engagement, you're probably not engaging with enough people. You're probably not posting enough. Like if you want that quick growth and to see that, then you're gonna have to post 2, 3, 4, or 5 times a day, right? And you probably don't have that time, right? So really thinking about this as a long game and saying, okay, I'm building this foundation and now I'm posting this content and I'm getting results because if people are interacting and engaging, we got to follow up with those people. No one is just going to show up to your social media and just start inboxing you, right? That's probably it happens, but it's like it doesn't happen to everybody, right? So creating content that is doing the attraction to bring those people to you and then you following up with them, but being strategic about it and knowing that it's going to take time. And while you're doing all of this, like you said, showing up to events, collaborating with people. I know the last time that we talked, Becky, you told me about the Bundles of Bundles group. I've been in there
Hmm.
connecting with people, being a part of people's summits, going on people's podcasts. So really having a strategic way that you're always having visibility, that you're always increasing that. So I think that's what a lot of people are missing is that just strategic plan to increase your visibility, but the best way that works for you. Because for me, I love summits. I love doing podcast swaps. I love doing different bundles and things. So that works for me in addition to everything else I'm doing.
Yeah, so true. And since then, I actually made my Facebook group into a collab cafe. So I'm actually finding people to post their events, and I'm doing networking parties like every month. Because I think that's a great way for me. Because I'm an introvert. Like I know I may sound out maybe outgoing online, but in person, I'm really shy and reserved, and I get scared to be around big groups of people. So online, it's just so much easier for me to connect with others. And it's always been like that. Like I remember going on chat rooms when I was in college because I was very shy then. I had no friends like in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I would love to be a part of your group. And yeah, I've been doing networking events too every month because, like you said, it's that online connection too that is still needed as well. And people are still looking for that too. So just building that community. And I think that's amazing. So, yes, I would love to learn more.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll send you an invite to my group. It's called Collab Cafe. You can just search it on Facebook if anyone's listening. I would love to have anybody listening to be a part of my new group. So Michelle, like, so you said you do podcast swapping, like you're doing it because I was on Michelle's podcast as well. So how do you even get people to let you be on their podcast in the first place? Do you have any techniques for that?
Yeah, so I love using Threads. I found a lot of podcast interviews on Threads. There's also podcastguest.com where you can sign up and other people are looking for different podcast guests, but also Facebook groups. People are looking for guests inside of Facebook groups. So you can join different Facebook communities to join other people's podcasts. But a lot of people also reach out to me to be on my podcast, and I always turn it into a mutually beneficial
Hmm.
relationship. I think that's how we got here. Your team reached out to me and said, "Hey, I would love Becky to be on my podcast." And then I knew you had a podcast and I said, "I would love to be on Becky's." And then it's mutually beneficial for both of us. And so that's how I love to collaborate with others. And so yeah, you can definitely search Facebook communities. Threads is a good way. People will reach out to you if you have a podcast and you're just doing amazing things. People are gonna see that and they're going to reach out. It's inevitable. And so I think you should just keep going. If anybody's listening and wants to do podcast swaps, they are a great opportunity.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, so there's a lot of people out there thinking, well, I would like to do social media, but I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if like what I'm doing is working. Like, how would you know what you're doing is working? Is like there's some kind of analytics to look at?
Oh, yes. Analytics definitely tell a lot. I think when it comes to I don't know what to do, we have to go back to what are our goals, right? If you are a business coach and say you have a fitness brand, if you are selling a course, then that is one of your goals is to sell out of your course. How do you do that? You post content that has a call to action for people to maybe come to a free webinar or join your email list, and then you sell them the course. But you have to have a plan on how you're using social media to even understand if it's working right. It's not just, oh, I'm going to post this random photo, but what is the goal? Like, what is the thing that you want people to do? We need to have a plan with that. And so I feel like when you have a plan, it just works better for you and it's easier to understand. And then, like you were saying, analytics, now you can look at your analytics and see what's working. Okay, I see that 1,200 people engage with this reel when I posted in this type of way. It had a really good hook. I told them to comment this word. There were 50 comments and now I have 50 new leads, right? Versus you just posting a random piece of content and saying, "Hey, look at me." No call to action, no nothing. Like how can you really measure that? So I think when we think about it in that sense, it just makes it more understandable. And that's why I like to break down social media marketing in simple terms because it can be overwhelming and it can be a lot of mumbo jumbo and marketing terms and all the things. But if you approach it in that way, I think, especially starting out, then you'll have better results because you'll know what to measure.
Yeah, it makes so much sense because when you post something, you think, what kind of action do I want people to take when I post this? So if you think in terms of that, not just look at me lounging on my Lambo. You know, yeah, I've seen like some entrepreneurs do that. They go, look at me, I'm on a red Lambo, and like that's all they'll post, and then they expect people to react. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I like to use is mini chat. So I'll make an image, like going back to faceless marketing. Like I can make like a reel in Canva because they actually have real templates that are that you can just plug and play. And then I'll say like post such and such, you know, to get my course into your DMs, and then connect them with mini chat. It will actually send them to their DMs for you. So what have you ever used that?
Oh yes, I love Manny Chat. So yes, I use that. I on different posts, I tell people to comment a certain word or DM me, and then the Manny Chat delivers that information. And I usually I love automation, but me personally, I like to go back and then talk to the people. And I like to send voice notes too. So I use Manny Chat for like the initial conversations and reaching out to people. And then I do go back to, talk to them via voice note. But I think ManyChat is a great automation tool, especially if you're a busy person and you have multiple people commenting and you have like keywords and things like that. It's a great tool for lead generation.
Yeah, for those that are just starting out, like going back, you said to engage with people that engage with you. Like if someone likes your picture, like that's a win. Why don't you, DM this person that liked your picture on Instagram, saying, "Oh, you can respond with, hey, I saw that you liked my this picture on Instagram. Are you interested in such and such? Like maybe you were selling your course on the picture. So would that be a good idea?
Yeah, I think maybe not when people like your content, but maybe if they were engaging or engaging in your stories. But I think when they like you could set up an automation like when they like something, say introduce yourself. Hey, I'm such and such, thanks for being a part of my community and like lead from there because I think the more genuine connections in the beginning just work better than just coming right out the gate selling to people. Unless like you said, it said DM the word power and I'll send you the link to my power session or whatever. So, yeah, I think that leading in those two ways, depending on how the people come into your ecosystem.
Oh, yes. So Michelle, could you tell us more about you and your business and how you can help people?
Yes, yes. So I help people with visibility. So all the things we've been talking about here today is how I really love to help women, especially women entrepreneurs. I'm a mom. My story is that I was fired at the age of 30 from my healthcare career, and I was able to utilize my skills to build an online business. I started out with blogging and on YouTube, and I eventually started a media company with my husband, and now I help other women to increase their visibility online, to find more clients and to make more money. I think sometimes as women, we think, oh, I have all these skills, but I can't monetize this. But you can. You can monetize so many skills that you have and turn it into a business, whether you're multi-passion like me. You can turn all of your different skills into income streams. And so I really love to help women do that. I do events and retreats as well. I know you're talking about retreats that you like to go to. I love retreats because you get to really connect with women in a deeper level and really build together. And so that's why I love retreats and just building community as well. So that's how I help women.
Yeah, this retreat I went on that Amber Housley hosts. Have you ever heard of Amber
Oh,
Housley?
I'm going to her event in Nashville. Is that the event that
Yeah,
you're
I'm
going
going
to?
there too.
I'll see you in
Yeah,
Nashville.
it's the end of next month. Are you so Bloom and Grow? Oh
Oh,
wow, it'd be great to connect with you in person. Yeah, that'd be so much fun. Yeah, I love in-person retreats because she does like these little pajama parties where you do games. Like those are so much fun, and she has such amazing food, and it's just such a great time.
yes, yes, I'm really excited. So I'll be looking forward to connecting with you there, Becky. So cool.
Oh yeah, so let us know about your website. How can people find you online?
Yeah, so you can find me online at michellethames.com. You can find me on Instagram is where I really love to hang out as well at Michelle L. Thames if you want to talk all things visibility. I also have a 7-day audio experience where you can do, I don't want to call it a challenge. It's kind of like a challenge, but I'm challenging you every day to do something to help you increase your visibility. And if you go through all 7 audio sessions, which are less than 10 minutes, you definitely will have increased visibility so that you reach more people and that you see more results.
Oh, awesome. Well, Michelle, do you have any last words for our listeners today?
Yes, some last words. Just keep going. I know social media can be overwhelming. It's a lot of different platforms, but I think, again, with strategy and just being consistent and really loving what you do, don't force any platforms that don't feel good. You want to create this business because this is something that you love. And so social media can be a place too that you actually, I don't want to say love, but you can work with to get the results
Mhm.
that you want.
Oh, great. So again, make sure to visit Michelle at michellethames.com, and I'll have the links in our show notes at beckybeachshow.com. Thanks so much for being here, Michelle. Have a great day. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to the Becky Beach Show. Please check out the show notes at beckybeachshow.com and my membership, businessbeachclub.com, to start and scale your own digital product business. Have a great day. See you next time on the Becky Beach Show.